Hello everybody, this is Trey Parker. I know you guys are waiting for another bully episode, but I have to talk to you guys about something that happened today. Basically, when I was taking out the trash, well, not taking out the trash, bringing the trash on the side of the house, because the garbage man came over to pick up the trash on every street. So I saw someone attacking somebody just because he was a Christian, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why is this man attacking this guy because he's a Christian? Because I come to realize this guy's an atheist, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I had to explain to him. I was like, yo, that's fine. That's fine that you're an atheist. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's on you, all right? But don't take out your frustrations on someone that's a Christian. You know, and I mean, you got Christians that are, don't get me wrong, you do have some Christians that ain't right. You do. You really do. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You got some that ain't right. You got some Christians that force their religion on other people, and Christians that do that aren't real true Christians. You don't force your religion on other people. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen someone a long time ago was forcing religion on someone that was like basically like guys. He liked guys. I had to tell the guy, I had to tell the Christian, I was like, hey, you know, there's nothing wrong with you telling them about God, but forcing them down his throat is not right. You know, he even said that in the Bible, don't force the religion upon anybody. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is, this guy was like saying that he's an atheist. I don't believe in, he doesn't believe in God and all that stuff. And I was like, that's fine. I'm not mad at you for not, you are entitled to your own opinion. I'm a Christian, but I'm not going to force it on you. But he was like saying God doesn't exist and all this other stuff, and you're stupid for believing in him. And I was like, okay, well, how can you say that when the Bible, and I'm not talking about the Bibles of today, because now people are actually writing new stuff in the Bible and switching things around. I'm talking about like the New King James Version on back, you know, because the Bible is from back then. The oldest Bible, which is the first one that was written in Hebrew and all that, says the same exact thing that the King James Version says. So I told him, like, how can you say that when the Bible collides perfectly well with history? He was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, it talked about, like, you know, certain kingdoms, you know, bronze, brass, you know, clay. He was like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it does, because there's there's like a statue. Those type of material symbolizes different kingdoms. One crushes the other. You know, Alexander the Great. I believe it was brass. I think it was brass. You know, you had other kingdoms, you know what I'm saying? They destroy each other, and, you know. But, like, I was also telling him about, you know, you can't really say that when it you know what I'm saying, when it collides perfectly well with the Bible. You are good to your own beliefs, but don't try to force your beliefs on someone else. You know, that's what he was doing. He was an atheist that was forcing his own belief on somebody else that was a Christian. And I have an issue with that. You know, even a Christian forcing his religion or their religion, or forcing the religion of God on someone that's not a Christian, I have an issue with that. I do, because it's not right. You don't force it upon somebody. Because, for example, there was this one pastor that was trying to tell one of my friends that worshiping someone called Buddha is not God. I was like, how do you know that? He was like, it's not. It's because it's different from your ways. I told him that because something is called something different does not mean it's different from your religion. Because come to find out, you have Muslims that technically worship the same God, but a lot of people tend to think that Muslims are bad. They're not bad. They're not. It's just the ones that are claiming to be Muslims, that's going around killing people, causing harm, blowing stuff up. They're not Muslims. Those Muslims are the ones I'm talking about, that blow stuff up and all that stuff. those Muslims denounced Jesus Christ, saying that Jesus Christ was not the Messiah or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But you got the Muslims that are good, that actually believe the same God as everyone else does, as far as like the Christians. They say that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. They say it. They literally say it out their own mouths. I was like, oh, okay. It's just called something different. They do something different. There's been so many wars that took place long ago in ancient times over religion that was ridiculous. And then you find out nowadays that they worship the same God. They just do it differently. So you just be like, oh, so they killed each other because they thought they worshiped different gods. But it was the same one. Just called a different name, and it's ridiculous. Can you believe that? So you mean to tell me that, like, our history, as far as Christians and all that, and Muslims, we went to war with each other long ago, and I don't know, it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. History is like, it's, you just shake your head, man. But like I was telling him, like, you can't say that because like history collides perfectly well with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And he was like saying God doesn't exist. I was like, okay, that's your opinion. That's cool. But don't attack this man and his kids just because they are Christians. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They're not attacking you. They say, oh, Christians do attack me because I don't believe in God or something like that. I was like, okay, then those people aren't true Christians. Okay, if someone tells me that they like guys and they're a guy themselves, right? I tell them, okay, you are a human being. You are entitled to your own soul. All I can do is pray for you, right? And you're my friend. So if there's anything wrong, that something pops up, you come talk to me about it. Keep it from there. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell them, oh, you can't do that, such and such. No. It's not your place. That's God's place. That's Jesus Christ's place. You know what I'm saying? I had to tell him the same thing. Well, he was like, well, he doesn't believe it. I was like, okay, that's fine. But the main thing is, he went on and saying the reasons of why God doesn't exist or something like that. And I was like, okay. He said that God doesn't exist because the earth, he said, basically God said the earth is 6,000 years old. But the earth is something million, trillion years old or something like that, right? So I would begin to tell him that, okay, there's a way to debunk that. He was like, really? That's the first? Explain it. I was like, okay. Well, it goes back to Adam, okay? God told Adam, the day that you eat the fruit is the day that you surely die, okay? Now, you got to keep in mind, evolution, we used to be, as far as us humans, we used to be more different. We looked the same, but we were more different. We were able to live longer. And this guy died 5 years ago. The last oldest person that lived on Earth was 203 years old. It was a Chinese guy. Saw so many different grandkids, it was unbelievable. He died 5 years ago. But no one's talked about it. No news media talks about it, nobody. Because they don't want to focus on the positive, they want to focus on the negative. All the bad stuff that goes around, as far as Trump and all this other stuff. And, you know, some things Trump did do good, and there's things that he did bad, whatever. I don't really care about that. Like, my thing is, it's like a lot of stuff, school shootings, everything. They focus on that stuff. They don't ever focus on the positive, you know. And I was telling him that, you know, Adam lived to be over 900 some years old. He didn't believe that. I had to explain to him about the whole evolution thing. Each time we have generations upon generations, our genetic coding changes. You know, it weakens. That's why we're able to only live like 100 some years old and look all old and crusty and stuff, you know? So that's why a lot of people are dying at old age at the age of 80. We're not living like we used to. So I told him that, you know, he was quiet. He took that. He said he's a man of science. I said, yeah. So back to like the part where, you know, what God said about the earth is only 6,000 years old. Okay, so Adam died in God's eyes on the same day. He pretty much ate the fruit around 6 a.m., died around like 11 p.m. at night in God's eyes. So he was like, that doesn't make any sense. How does that have anything to do with the whole world being something million, trillion years old? And And God's saying it's 6,000 years old. Like, it does. Because if one day in God's eyes is like 900 years on earth, 1,000 years on earth, because, it wasn't 12 o'clock midnight. If it's like, if one day is 1,000 years on earth in God's eyes, and if God's saying that the earth is 6,000 years old in his eyes, then technically the earth is exactly what scientists are saying that God is saying. It matches. They go hand to hand. So he was getting angry. He was getting angry, and he was like saying, okay, you proved that. You proved that as an actual fact. So, and he was like saying, you're the first person that ever did that. So explain to me, if God doesn't exist, where is he at? I was like, well, there's only one place in the world, in the universe actually, that gives off that perception of time. Because you got to understand, from where God sits, time is different on earth. It could be from another realm. It could be from somewhere else. But there's only one place that we can actually pinpoint that actually match that same description. If he says that Adam died in one day, you know what I'm saying? 900 some years on earth. He says that like the earth is 6,000 years old. In his eyes, there's only one place that can give that perception of time. That's outer space. We can leave outer space for like 1 year and come back. 1 year on, actually a couple of months on Mars can be like 1 or 2 years on Earth, probably 3 years. I don't know the statistics on that one, but like it's like a couple years on Earth. So you do the math. If you do the math, if someone goes further out of our solar system, which is there's other galaxies out there besides our solar systems. Our solar system, we're the only ones in this one. So there are people that say, oh, aliens don't exist. Well, NASA found other planets and other solar systems with life forms on there. So we're not the only ones, guys. I'm sorry. It's not. They talked about it on CNN. We're not the only ones. It's just we're the only ones in this solar system. That's it. Our solar system. It seems like there was something on Mars, but it's not there anymore. So I'm just saying, he was getting angry. He was getting real angry, and I was like, okay, listen. If you're getting angry to the point that I'm actually proving facts to you that it's getting you that angry, and I asked him why, because you're the first person that actually proved that he existed. And he's angry about it. I was like, so you're angry with the truth? He was like, yes. I was like, okay, well, listen. You are still entitled to your own opinions. But all I ask is not to attack somebody else because their opinions are different than yours. And sometimes, I even explained this to him, sometimes your opinions can be different from somebody else and still be on the same side. You get it? The same side, same team. Like, for example, you can play on a team and okay, hold on, I'm going to be a perfect example. You play football and you play in the football game, right? Coach give off a play that you got to run. And the whole O-line, offensive line, see that play ain't going to work. They got a different opinion. It happens, but they still run the play. You're on the same team, but you have a different opinion. They see that play didn't work, or they see the play did work, and their opinion was non-valid, or it was valid. It happens. I explained it to him. He started to calm down. He was like telling me that, like, hey, you're right. He apologized to the man and his kids, and he just went on out his business. And he turned around and was like, honestly, you're the first person that ever proved that he existed. Most people would be like, well, I don't know where God's at. And then he get that satisfactional look like, yeah, you don't know where he's at, so he doesn't exist. But you were like, he said, you were the first person that actually proved it. I was like, yeah, scientists even said that he does. They looked at the Bible and compared it to history, compared it to the time frames of Earth and what God said. The Earth was 6,000 years old. They said they were like amazed that it actually exists. The thing is, he asked me this one question. if he existed, how come God never steps in when a lot of bad stuff happens? And I was like, I don't know the answers to everything, dude. All I do is I research, right? I find stuff, I prove to see if it's true or not or validate. That's all. All I can say is I could try to put myself in God's position, his shoes, and try to figure it out. And I did. I was like, okay, if I was God, which I'm not, and I created mankind, everything else, and when some stuff pops off, heck yeah, I'm going to intervene, punish whoever, get on there like, hey, what you doing? Put it back. You know what I'm saying? No different from being a parent. But the thing is, it just dawned on me, like, if God was always intervening in everything that went down, we would never learn. As far as us being humans, animals, we would never learn. We will never grow and learn. We just constantly have to rely on him. It's no different from our parents. Like, we're constantly relying on the parents, and they'd be like, man, you're a grown man, or man, you're a woman. Man up, woman up, go out there and get it on your own. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Same principles. That's why I had to explain to him. And he just smirked and just kept walking. I was like, okay. But yeah, guys. I mean, I'm sorry I haven't been uploading videos. I've been mostly busy watching Netflix. Netflix, man. They got the new shows going on, and there's like this new app called Asian Crush. Asian Crush is a new app. I can go in there and watch some Jackie Chan movies and stuff like that, and some Bruce Lee movies. The old classic, man. The old classic. Enter the Dragon, baby. But yeah, I mean, people have their reasons of why they don't believe in God, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But all I ask is, if you're a Christian, don't force the religion on someone else, because there's somewhere, I forgot what verse, I forgot what book it was, but I can go back and look at it. But it's somewhere where it says not to do this, not to do that stuff. All right, because we get in big trouble in God's eyes. But all you can do is just pray for everybody. And if you're a subscriber and you don't believe in God, then that's fine. You're still always welcome to my channel. Nobody's trying to force it on you. I'm just talking about what happened today. That's all that happened. You know, so I will be sure to upload another bully walkthrough pretty soon. College is about to start back up. Guy, you know what I'm saying, almost done. Almost done. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I mean, if you do your research, look at history, compare it to the Bible. Certain things in the Bible, and there's also other things too. You know what I'm saying? You guys have to look at it. You know, and I don't know, guys. But be sure to push that like button. Share this video with somebody else. And if you're a Christian, share this video with somebody else that's a Christian, so they know not to do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And leave a comment. If you guys have any questions about certain things, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Please don't. All right?